Did you know that teenagers spend an average of 7.5 hours a day on their phones? Software engineers are the people who make the apps that teenagers spend their day on, such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I chose this career because ever since I was little, I was always obsessed with the newest technology, whether it's an iPad or the newest gaming console. Picking a job you love is important, and I think being a software engineer could fulfill that role for me. In this speech, I will go over the duties, skills, and expectations of a software engineer. According to Wikipedia, a software engineer is a person who designs, tests, and evaluates computer software. To explain this in simpler terms, their main duty is to create and maintain the apps you use every day, such as Google and iOS. The basis of software engineering requires a person to have at least an intermediate level of understanding of code. Most companies either use Python or Java, which are the two main coding languages. To be a good coder, you need good problem-solving skills and good attention to detail, because one little mistake could cost you hours of time. The salary for an entry-level software engineer is around $86,000. The salary for a more advanced software engineer is around $120,000. This job has a great future to look out and is projected to increase over 25% in the next decade, from 1.6 million jobs to over 2 million jobs. Because of the 2021 pandemic, many large companies have been more accepting of people working from home, although many of these companies still prefer you work in their offices. There's a lot of preparation that goes into becoming a software engineer. Education and training for becoming a software engineer is very extensive. At Thornhill, for example, you can take a class called C++, which teaches you the ins and outs of software engineering. In college, I recommend taking classes about engineering, computers, and technology. For my presentation, I chose the Illinois Institute of Technology. I found that you need an ACT score of 26 or higher and a GPA of 3.8, which is the equivalent of an A-. According to BLS.gov, students seeking software engineering jobs enhance their employment opportunities by participating in internships. Internships can either be found by Indeed.com or through their universities. Universities generally have a lot of connections that can help you get an internship fairly easily. It is possible to become a self-taught software engineer, but jobs are limited because companies generally don't want to take a risk on an underdeveloped software engineer. If you still wish to become a self-taught software engineer, you can still take boot camps, which help entice employers by giving you a certification that you know what you're doing. There are certification programs that can be done, such as the boot camps I mentioned before, but sometimes they are not enough for large employers, and they would like at least a bachelor's degree. Experience in software engineering is key. Senior engineers have opportunities lined up and waiting for them. If they wish to find a new job, having experience in software engineering puts you miles ahead of the rest of the competition. As a bachelor's degree, many employers still want to see that you have some experience coding, whether from a boot camp or an internship. The competition for this field is very fierce, so I recommend you take all the chances possible. There are many advantages and disadvantages of becoming a software engineer. Both sides include working conditions. An advantage I see is that most software engineers work an average of 40 hours a week, which is around the average. Working from home may also become increasingly possible because of the COVID-19 pandemic. If you wish to work within the offices, many large companies, such as Google, for example, have 3 meals, a gym, and a fun working environment for their employees. The working conditions are also a disadvantage because the work itself is very stressful, and finding one mistake in miles of code is like finding a needle in a haystack. The employers in this profession are also very strict with their deadlines and will force you to work off the clock if the assignment is not finished. In conclusion, this is an explanation of my career and the things that are involved in. This career will be something that I enjoy and I wish to do in the future.